Once you get to 5 assets in your portfolio, we drop your property management fees on every asset you have with us, every turnkey asset, from 10% down to 9%.
How do we build a group of properties
Glad you would
based on your
ask. Let's talk about how we would build a portfolio for a $250,000 investment. A client came to us, we came to understand that 250 is the right amount for them to invest. First thing though is let's talk about why is it important to get to 3 properties. When I see 250,000 for the client bringing it over, I immediately think, okay, great. We can start this client off. We have a really good chance of starting this client off with 3 assets. 3 is a really important number. And it's because number one, I want you to last in this asset class.
Mhm.
And one of the most important things for lasting in this asset class, being here for a full market cycle, is having a portfolio that's diversified. At some point, you start to feel like, listen, there's always something little
Yeah.
that's going on with my asset. And then over time, one of your people, one of the families in your homes leaves, right? The end of their lease comes, there's a property turn, maybe there's a life situation. Something is always going to happen. And what you want is to get into a situation where you have other assets that are performing just like they should and actually overperforming at that time because there is no maintenance and vacancy at that time
Mhm.
to be able to buffer or buoy the other asset. And this is going to become normal for you. For the clients who own multiple assets, I'm sure you can chime in and say, listen, the reason that I don't get really bent out of shape when I have a property turn is because I have 7 other assets that are all producing a lot of positive cash flow. And it's just kind of like a carousel, is the way
Mhm.
I think about it with my own portfolio. And then it helps me just manage it based on numbers rather than emotion. So I want you to get to 3. If you have the opportunity to get to 3 right off the bat, we're going to definitely advise you to get there because that seems to be just a nice starting point for where diversification really happens. Other things to consider, the incentives are usually bigger when you get to more properties at one time. So this incentive that I just shared with you is available for any number of purchases, but that's unique. Once this incentive is over, we typically have an incentive for buying 3 or more at one time.
Mhm.
And so you can maximize incentives that way. And then you can also reduce your property management fees. It's called the JWB Elite program. So once you get to 5 assets in your portfolio, we drop your property management fees on every asset you have with us, every turnkey asset, from 10% down to 9%. And then when you get to 10 properties, we actually drop it down to 8% again. So all these things, when we see 250 or somewhere around there, we're saying to ourselves, okay, cool. How can we be able to financially engineer this in a way that we can get to 3 properties in that initial property recommendation for you?